Hello and welcome to the Mushroom Horror Channel. Today, we're going to spoil a horror movie titled You Are Killing Me, 2023. Let's get started. The movie opens in a classroom in the United States. A man is watching a video on his phone that he had recorded. A woman sitting in a car, asking him to stop recording. A police officer enters the class to announce a missing person case. The missing person is a woman named Melissa who was studying in this classroom and disappeared after school. The officer suspects that it may be related to a crime. He asks for the students' help, in case anyone has any clues, to report immediately. After school, the protagonist named Eden seems to be gathering courage and then decides to approach a group of 3 people standing nearby. The person in the middle is named Schroeder, the woman on the right is Kendra, and the man on the left is Gooch. Schroeder's father is a member of Congress. Eden wants to continue her studies at Penbrook and asks Schroeder's father to write a recommendation letter for her scholarship program. After listening to her, he doesn't seem interested in helping much, claiming that many people ask him for help and he barely knows her. Eden argues a bit, pointing out that she and him have been in the same class all along, but he still refuses. Eden asks him about the party at his house that evening, and he confirms it, inviting her to come if she wants. Then the 3 of them get in a car and drive away. Eden's friend Zara comes over, and Eden tells her about the party that night. Zara doesn't seem too keen, but goes along with her friend, knowing that Eden wants to approach Schroeder about the favor she needs from his father. Eden returns home, looks in the mirror, and gets ready for the theme party. The scene cuts to the evening. Eden's father Joel, who works at a waste disposal company, drives 2 girls to the party. He gives Eden his business card in case she can promote his business. He wants to drop them off at the front of the house, but Eden tells him to stop here, as it's not far and she can walk. It seems like she might be embarrassed because her father isn't as well off. The 2 girls arrive at the party. Zara still doesn't want to go in, but Eden pleads with her to be her wingwoman. She says she has a plan and if it works, we can go home immediately. Once inside, they meet Kendra, who tell them to put their phones in a box for security reasons, as this is the home of a congressman. The party is full of people. Eden encourages Zara to enjoy the party. After looking around for a while, she spots Schroeder not far away, playing a ball game with his friends. She asks Zara to distract his friend Gooch. Zara doesn't want to, but Eden promises that if the plan works, they'll leave right away. Zara agrees and goes to talk to Gooch, whose conversation with her seems a bit awkward. But Zara invites him to get a drink, and he seems okay with it. She immediately pulls him away, and Eden approaches Schroeder. Zara and Gooch start talking. She tells him she plays an instrument called the oboe, because not many people play this instrument and it's in demand. She got to study at Penbrook. She believes she can easily get a scholarship to an Ivy League university without paying tuition. Gooch, on the other hand, says he's not as talented as her. For him to get in, his father would have to donate $1 million, which is unlikely to happen. He makes a drink for her, and when Zara tastes it, she compliments him on his excellent mix. The scene cuts to Eden starting to play a game with Schroeder. Suddenly, they heard a woman voice screaming. When they look, they find out her name is Tanya, Melissa's older sister. Melissa is the woman who has disappeared and is currently a missing person case. Tanya accuses everyone involved with her sister because she is sure that they all know about this. Kendra walks in to clear things up, but also gets accused. Eden wants to impress Schroeder, so she offered to drive Tanya home. He gives her his car keys. When she arrives at her house, Tanya finds something in the car. She tells Eden that her sister used to do this and hands it to her. It looks like a paper folded into a heart shape. The car Eden is driving is Schroeder's family. When she returns to the party, Schroeder greets her again. They both sit and talk in the living room of the house. They talk about personal matters, such as his father's hopes for him to become a president in the future. Eden sees an old axe hanging on the wall. He tells her that his ancestors were among the first to arrive in this land. The leader of the Native Americans gave the axe to his ancestors. There's also a World War II rifle that his grandfather received from a German captain. Eden brings up the topic of help from his father. He asks her what makes her stand out. She says that she doesn't come from a wealthy family, she doesn't have a tutor, and she has fought her way to this point on her own. He counters her, saying that she's lying because asking his father for help is also a shortcut. It's mean that she hasn't tried on her own as she claims. After listening, Eden's still begging him to take her to meet his father, but he seems uninterested in this request and tells her that they haven't finished their game yet. The scene back to the party. Eden and Schroeder continue their ball game. Suddenly, Zara stumbles into the table. She's so drunk she can barely speak. Eden tells him to wait for 2 minutes. She will take Zara to rest in the upstairs. Along the way, she sees 2 women charging their phones in one corner of the house. Zara complains about how they got their phones. Eden enters the room. She puts Zara on the bed and rushes back to continue the game, not noticing that Gooch is also drunk in the bathroom. He wakes up and sees Zara sleeping. The scene cuts back to the party. The opposing team throws the ball into the cup. Schroeder tells Eden that if she makes this shot, he will tell his father to write a letter to Penbrook for her. She agrees, shakes hands to make a deal, and successfully throws the ball into the cup. She is very happy, and even Schroeder has to admit her determination. Then she asks to check on Zara. The scene cuts to Gooch. He lies down next to Zara and takes a selfie with her while she's unconscious. Eden walks back into the room. Gooch hears the door and wakes up to see her. She asks what he's doing and tells him to leave. She tries to wake Zara but she doesn't wake up. She finds Gooch's phone and picks it up to look at it. She sees the picture he secretly selfie with Zara while she was asleep. He comes back in, as if he remembered he left his phone, but Eden kicks him out again. She looks at the phone and finds a saved video clip. It's a group of Schroeder, Gooch, and Kendra. The three of them are driving and invite Melissa, the missing woman, to get in the car. They say they'll take her home. She gets in their car. The three of them don't take her home, but take her to a forest area. Schroeder forces her to drink until she's drunk and she walks off somewhere. Before Eden finishes watching, the phone's battery suddenly dies. Gooch runs downstairs and explains the situation to Schroeder and Kendra. After listening, the three of them immediately go upstairs. Eden quickly pieces together that these three are likely involved in Melissa's disappearance. She tries to wake Zara but she doesn't wake up. She tries to find a phone charger but can't find one. She remembers that there were two women charging their phones outside. When she opens the door, she runs into Schroeder. He asks if he can come in, but she says Zara isn't feeling well and probably doesn't want anyone to see her like this. He says Gooch left his phone and asks to come in and get it, but she says she'll get it for him in a second after she closes the door. Kendra hears the lock sound and tells them that she already locked the door. Gooch is freaking out. Kendra tells him to calm down because she doesn't know the passcode. But Gooch says he didn't set a passcode. The two of them scold him for being so stupid not to set a passcode. Schroeder tries to get Eden to open the door. Eventually, she says she already watched the video. The three of them immediately become nervous. He said that Melissa was with them after school, but in the end, they took her home, he swears. Eden says okay, if that's true, then pass a charger under the door so she can finish watching the clip. But he avoids it and says why don't we watch it together. She said that if they don't bring a charger in 30 seconds, she will scream the whole house. After she says this, she starts counting. The three of them go back to the party, turn up the music louder than before, and shout to get everyone out of the house. Eden tries to wake Zara, but she doesn't wake up. She hears a loud song playing unexpectedly. Looking out the window, she sees everyone leaving party. She screams for help, but no one hearing her. Schroeder sees her and walks back into the house. Eden remembers there's a charger outside. She tries to peek under the door, but sees no one outside. She decides to open the door and finds the charger. As she's about to go back, she stops seeing Gooch nearby. She decides to run out, but Gooch catches her. She hit him in the face and crawls into the room, but the charger falls outside the door. She pulls the charger in. Schroeder jumps in and grabs the cord too. Both of them tug the charger until it breaks. Gooch groans. Schroeder chases him away so he has to go to the kitchen to get a paper towel for his wound. Eden pushes a wardrobe to block the door. Schroeder orders Gooch to break the door. He tries to break it several times until he's exhausted. He then orders Gooch to use a ladder to get to the second floor from the back and get the phone. Kendra is very strong. She hits the door and it starts to break. Both of them reach in to push the wardrobe back. Zara wakes up, but she's so hungover, she doesn't understand anything and runs to throw out in the bathroom. She hears a knock on the window and goes to see. It's Gooch asking her to open it. Zara, not understanding what's going on, she letting him in. Once he's inside, he seems concerned about her hangover. Gooch encounters Eden. He apologizes for everything that's happened, but she doesn't care and kick him. Zara comes over, she points and says, "Is that the phone?" Gooch runs to grab it and quickly takes the phone to Schroeder, but Eden hits him with a chair. Then she grabs Schroeder's arm, causing him to hit the door and fall. He's furious because he doesn't know what to do, so he goes to pick up an old axe that was on display, preparing to do something. The other partygoers stop by a convenience store and walking past Eden's father. He asks everyone how the party was, and everyone says it was a boring party. This makes Joel suspicious as why Eden hasn't come home yet. Schroeder tries to break the door and wardrobe with the axe. Eden asks Zara to help drag Gooch into the bathroom. Schroeder hears the sound of water and yells to Gooch, asking what's going on there. When he wakes up, he finds himself tied up in the bathtub, and Eden is about to drop a hairdryer into the tub. She threatens Schroeder that if he comes in, she'll drop the hairdryer immediately, forcing him to back off. Eden argues with Zara because she doesn't understand what's going on. She tells Zara to escape through the window, but she's too scared to go. Suddenly, Schroeder cuts the power, causing the house to go dark and the hairdryer stop working. Zara stands in front of the window gathering courage when suddenly Kendra grabs her hand. She gets scared and pulls her hand away, causing Kendra slip and fall down. Kendra is seriously injured because her knife stabs into her back. Zara refuses to go first, so Eden has to lead her climb out the window. When Zara follows out the window, Gooch yells to Schroeder that they've gone downstairs. Eden climbs down and sees Kendra. She tries to help her and asks for a phone to call 911, but Schroeder arrives just in time. Eden quickly escapes and climbs back up the ladder. Schroeder shakes the ladder, causing them to fall, but she jumps off in time. Both of them end up back in the bathroom again. Schroeder drags Kendra into the house. She begs him to call an ambulance because she can't take it anymore, but he chooses to refuse because if he calls an ambulance, everything will be revealed, making her feeling bad with him because he chooses to protect his own interests over his friend's life. Eden telling Zara everything. After she finishes, Zara doesn't believe her because she thinks Eden is prejudging without finishing the video. She suggests her to return the phone, report this to the police, and go home. Eden doesn't understand her friend's logic. She says that his father is a member of Congress. Who do you think the police will listen to without clear evidence? Zara complains that Eden is making a small problem into a big deal and tries to get the phone from Eden. Schroeder is walking up the stairs when he hears a car drive by. It's Eden's father's car. Joel walks into the house and sees that it's all dark. Zara trying to get the phone from Eden until she gets it. She says she doesn't care about anyone's business. She wants to go home now. Eden hears her father's voice. She goes to see and finds her father standing. Schroeder comes from behind and hits Joel with the axe, causing him to fall. He threatens that if she doesn't give him the phone, he'll deal with her father. Joel tells her to give him the phone back. Zara crawls and puts it on the floor, then retreats to Eden. But as soon as Schroeder gets the phone, a man's voice speaks up in the dark. It's Schroeder's father. He's surprised and said what's happening. Schroeder tries to explain, but his father scolds him. His mother appears. She doesn't say anything. She just looks at everything in detail and sees that her son is holding a phone that isn't his. It's like she understands what's happening. She looks at her husband, and it seems they understand each other immediately. Mr. Schroeder tells everyone to calm down. The lights in the house come back on. Everyone sits together in the living room. Joel complains about the violence that has happened to him and his family. Mrs. Schroeder tells her son to apologize to Eden, which he reluctantly does. Eden also says that she saw what these three did to a girl named Melissa who disappeared. When the Schroeder family hears all three, they ask where Kendra is. The Schroeder family goes to one corner of the house and finds that Kendra has stopped breathing. Schroeder is very upset, and his father comes to comfort him. As for Mrs. Schroeder, she is silent, as if she feels nothing. Mr. Schroeder discusses what to do, because he thinks Eden is different and won't be easy. But his wife thinks she's just like everyone else. Back to the living room again. Mrs. Schroeder serves everyone water to calm down. They offer to deal with Joel's work and write a check for cash, which is a compensation for this issues. It's a large amount of money. Eden laughs. She tells them, "You can't buy us." They offer Eden a chance to continue her studies at Penbrook. Zara suggests she should accept it. Joel also tells her that if she accepts, we won't have any financial problems anymore. She is quite hesitant. She turns to ask her father if he's on her side. What about Melissa's family who lost their daughter? Zara scolds her to think about her own family first. But her father understands and lets her make the decision. Eden doesn't say anything, but she grabs the phone and watches the video. It's a video of Melissa running away. Three of them chase her in a car until they hit her and she passed away. They also threw Melissa's body into the river. After watching, Mr. Schroeder tells her that she's too young to know what decision to make. Eden says she thinks she knows. She will leave here and take this phone with her. All three of them leave the room. But while they're going down the stairs, they feel dizzy and fall. Yes, everyone was drugged by Mrs. Schroeder in the water she served. The Schroeder family looks at them falling down coldly. She bends down to look at Eden and says, "Did you think I would let someone like you hurt my family easily?" After saying that, she smiles at her. Two cars driving in the quiet forest. Schroeder tells Eden that he actually thought about confessing to the police too, but his mother wouldn't allow it. Mrs. Schroeder orders Gooch to bring Kendra's body to the back of the car to blame them. They set the scene to look like they did everything. While Gooch is standing there grieving, Schroeder comes from behind and stabs him to death. His body is placed with Kendra. Three of them push the car into the river as if it were an accident. The car falls into the river, water slowly enters the car, and then the scene cuts. Eden and Zara, both miraculously survived, but she lost her father. When both of them walk up the road, Zara tells her that we should report to the police. Eden just says, "Sure it is," but she turns her back and walks away quickly, ignoring Zara. Zara also walks in a different direction from Eden. Mr. Schroeder watches the news on his tablet. The police found 3 bodies, Kendra, Gooch, and Joel. He knows right away that Eden and Zara survived. Eden's shadow appears behind him. He sees it and knows, so he greets her, "How are you, little girl?" And then the scene cuts. Mrs. Schroeder walks into the bathroom. She picks up a broken mirror to look at and sees Eden's reflection in the mirror. Eden runs in from behind, but she grabs the mirror and stabs her leg, then throws her down. She picks up an axe and swings it, but Eden dodges and locks her neck at the wall. Eden is stronger. She throws her down into the bathtub. She stands up with the axe, but Eden notices the hairdryer. She kicks it towards the dryer, and there's a sound of an electric shock. Mrs. Schroeder dies. Schroeder returns home. He walks in and sees his father's body. He knows right away what happened. He walks over and picks up a loaded gun. There's the sound of a car horn. He runs out to see, and it's Eden in the car, revving the engine. Eden charges at Schroeder. He shoots back but misses. She hits him and he flies out. She opens the door, picks up the gun, aims at him, but decides not to shoot. She falls down in front of the car, exhausted. Schroeder gathers his strength, gets up, and walks towards her. Just as he's about to finish her, Zara comes from behind and hits him on the head, causing him to fall. She runs over to check on Eden. They hug each other and help each other walk away from there. Schroeder falls down and stops breathing. Both of them look back and see the big house that is now empty. The remnants of the party are just memories. There's the sound of police cars rushing to the scene. And the movie ends here. A slasher movie that highlights societal inequality. There are many losses in the decisions of the characters in this story. Eden is ambitious. She is determined to study at Penbrook, even though she comes from a not-so-wealthy family and has always tried on her own. But it ends with her hoping to rely on the connections of Schroeder's father, who isn't that close to her, leading to various events. Schroeder himself is a representative of a group of people who have money and power, who can use money to solve everything, sometimes without any sense of right or wrong left. The fact that the Schroeder family sees a dead body and doesn't feel shocked is probably because they have gone through something like this and are used to it. In the scene where Eden has to choose between what's right and the offer, I believe everyone who watched would have a hard time choosing. It's very easy for us to let something like this slide by accepting the hush money. But the fact that Eden chooses to fight for what's right risks her losing something, like in the end, she lost her father. The movie also shows us that whatever we do, we will eventually reap what we sow. The wealthy Schroeder family, who have been misusing their power, may one day lose everything. What do you guys think about this? Feel free to comment politely, and don't forget to press like, subscribe, share, and hit the notification bell so you won't miss other movie spoilers from us. I will definitely bring more strange and new movies to spoil for us to watch together. Thank you very much everyone for watching. Goodbye for today.